All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest, and today we are talking about Cam Rising. Is he playing against USC? Is he playing at all this year? Could he potentially be a medical redshirt? There were comments made today by Kyle Whittingham at his press conference that has things a little up in the air, and I'm hoping I can provide a little more context, give you guys an idea what I'm thinking right now. Before we dive into all that, though, please make sure you guys smash that like button. That'll help get it out to more Utah fans. Also, comment down below, what do you guys think? Is there a possibility that Cam is a full medical redshirt? Could Cam be in against USC? No matter what you guys think, please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you guys love Utah Utes football, this is the gauntlet of our schedule, and we're putting out a ton of Utah Utes football content. We're aiming to do 2 videos every day this week, and for every big game, we're aiming for 2 videos a day. And even on the bye weeks and shorter weeks, we're going for 1 video a day. So a ton of Utah Utes football content if that's what you're into. Also, share the video with a friend. If you guys know someone that you think would appreciate the video, it'd be awesome if you would share the video with them and, just get the word of mouth out there. Outside of that, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's talk about it. Is Cam playing against USC? All right, guys. And like I said, Whittingham made some comments at the press conference. There were some comments made about possible red shirts, medical red shirts for Cam Rising and Brant Keithy, right? He said he won't go as far as saying the clock is ticking on Cam Rising and Brant Keithy, but it's getting harder to know the situation. There's a possibility for medical red shirts, but it hasn't been talked about in great detail. So I'd say right out the gate, you shouldn't hear the alarm bells ringing, right? You shouldn't hear the alarm bells ringing on Cam Rising and Brant Keithy. And I'd say in my mind, right out the gate, before we dive too much into it, the Brant Keithy situation feels a lot more like there could be a potential medical red shirt rather than the Cam Rising situation does. We're going to keep talking about it, though. He also went on to say Whittingham said it's pretty much a slam dunk to get a medical red shirt if Rising or Keithy pursue it. Said Utah would feel confident in that if that's the direction the two players choose to go. Definitely a little concerning there, right? The good news is that if they did need a medical red shirt, that it would be a possibility, and Kyle Whittingham all but guaranteed that they would get it. On the other hand, we're 5-1, right? There's a lot of good so far about this season. The fact that we were able to do all this without Cam Rising and Brant Keithy is ridiculously impressive, and the Utah players in that locker room right now deserve a ton of credit, dude. The question I think a lot of us have on our mind is, well, and this is a question I would ask you guys. Why was Whittingham never asked during the press conference, is Cam in this week? Do you know if Cam's playing or not this week? I think that's a really telling sign. I think, one, the reporters knew from last week, and he probably warned them that he was not going to answer questions on whether or not Cam Rising is playing this week. I think that's a good sign, believe it or not, guys. On the potential of Cam playing versus USC, the fact that he did not get asked, did not comment on whether or not Cam is playing versus USC, I think is actually a good thing. Call me crazy, but I think there's a good shot Cam is in against USC. I think USC for me is the bar. USC is where it's like, okay, if he's, and at least from my perspective, if Cam is not in against USC, it's probably better that he medically redshirts. That's kind of where my mind is. But I think there's a really good chance this is the game. We had the article from Ella Trache come out a week or two ago, and in that article, Ella Trache says it's a week to 2 weeks until Cam Rising is back. Or he said he didn't know if it was a week or 2 weeks till Cam Rising is back, which has me really excited. And the fact that this lines up perfectly with the USC game, our offense was getting hot. It would be even hotter of an offense with Cam Rising. That'd be a really big deal for us to get the guy back. I'm of the perspective that he does play in this game. I think it's really exciting. I think there's a good chance Cam does play. Like I said, though, if Cam does not play in this game, I think you really got to consider the medical red shirt. I mean, if we beat USC without Cam, which we're going to do the breakdown later this week, there's a chance we beat USC without Cam. I think there's a better than not chance that we beat USC without Cam. But if Cam doesn't play this week, it's getting to a point where I'm of the opinion that it's probably time to medical redshirt. And I think, if we beat USC without Cam, we got a couple more tough games, but I mean, might as well ride it out and see what happens if he's not ready to go. I mean, you want Cam in, but if we can't have him in, it is what it is, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to ramble too much, and I don't want to make this too speculative, but there were comments about Cam possibly redshirting, getting a medical redshirt by Kyle Whittingham. And I think it's a good and a bad thing, but if Cam did want it, Kyle made it clear that Cam and Brant will be able to go get the medical red shirt immediately if they ask for it, right? The issue is if they do play and they don't get injured and then they're out, it doesn't work. How Kyle explained it is they have to be out because of injury, and it has to be they have to have played 4 games or less within 5 games. And so what that would mean is that Cam and Brant Keithy wouldn't come back at all. Like, because I don't think they could get, from what Kyle Whittingham said, it doesn't seem like you could get the medical red shirt, even if you miss the majority of the season, even if you only played a few games. If you come back and don't miss the season because of injury, then you do not receive the medical red shirt. I hope that all makes sense, guys. Smash that like button. I know I'm really hoping Cam is in against USC. He's a big weapon for this offense, and he's a big deal for this team. He's the heart and soul of this team. Comment down below, guys. Do you think Cam is back in against USC? It's going to be a huge conversation going into Saturday. I know a lot of people are just starting to get annoyed with the Cam Rising speculation. I just want him back. I feel like the secretiveness of this press conference and how they wouldn't really touch on whether or not Cam Rising playing, it wasn't even asked, it wasn't brought up, has me feeling all right about it. It really does. For me personally, I feel pretty decent about that fact. So I want to hear what you guys are thinking. I really do. Also, guys, best month of Utah football in the year coming up here. USC, Oregon, Washington. It's going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be a tough go. I'm excited for you guys to be along for the ride. So please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and share the video with a friend, share it on Facebook, retweet it, whatever. I'm out of here. Go Utes.